Lots of Instagram vendors came online and they were showing how much they spent in ads and how much they made after spending on ads. And I saw a number of them spending in millions. One even spent as much as 10 million in a year. There's another one who spent as much as 20 million in a year on ads, and they all said they got it 100-fold. Some said they got it times 4. Some said they got the money back times 5, And I got asking myself, is this thing really real? Is it true? So taking my mind back to 4 years ago, I used to run ads on Instagram for as little as 1K. I had a dollar account, so I would run ad with like $1 and I would make sales fairly. Like there'll be lots of inquiries, but maybe 1 or 2 people would buy. And since at the time I wasn't really focused on retailing my ready-to-wear, I was more concerned, I was really focused on my bespoke tailoring. So I wasn't running ads as much. But I know that if I want to sell something or make a sales, I'll just do like a $1 ad. I have another business, it's a food business, and that food business I didn't have like a physical store for it. It was more or less a mobile restaurant where you place an order online and then the food is delivered to you. So to make sales, we would always run $1 ads daily, and it was converting. It was converting very, very well for my food business and fairly okay for my fashion business. But like I said, I didn't mind because I wasn't retailing my ready to wear, So fast forward to this year, me now desiring to retail my ready to wear and do my marketing myself and all, I actually made an attempt to run ads and it did not convert to sales. It was very, very poor. It wasn't encouraging in any way. And I just thought, oh, well, maybe these vendors are lying. Maybe these Instagram vendors are lying. But then again, a part of me was like, what if there's something that they're doing that you don't know? But since I thought I know this thing, I know how to run ads until I met someone. I met someone in the market when we were to buy fabrics, and she also works from home. And we got talking and I got to realize she does her sales mostly on Instagram, only on Instagram. And then I asked her if she run ads and she was like, yes. I'm like, does your ad convert? She's like, yes. I'm like, Then I went on to ask her, how much do you spend daily on ads? And she said 10,000 naira. And I'm like, okay, hold up, Glory, hold up. I think that's where you might be getting it wrong. You're not spending that much on ads. I'm like, 10,000 naira daily? She said, yes. She spends 10,000 naira daily, and then she makes about 200,000 naira in sales daily. So every 10,000 naira she spends on ads gives her 200,000 in sales. And I was like, that's interesting. And she made it sound so good, that I thought, this is too good to be true. No, why is it converting like that for you? This is not the same testimony I know a number of people close to me to give, except those Instagram vendors who of course are far away and are talking big. Are you sure this thing really works? And then she called my attention to my targeting. She's like, your ad spend is important. If you're not spending up to 10,000 a day. In fact, this morning when I woke up, this conversation I had with this babe happened like in January. But this morning when I woke up, I even saw another person saying, if you're not spending up to 20,000 naira a day on ads, you're joking. So she told me that if you're not spending up to 10,000 naira a day on ads, you might not get so good a conversion. And then she went on to tell me about ad targeting, that if you're not getting your ad targeting right, then you might not make as much sales. So that was like, okay, Glory, you have you have homework here. I don't know how my ads were converting for me. Maybe it wasn't very competitive then, like it is now, because right now it wasn't doing as well until I met her. So she went on to give me a social media manager contact, who I contacted, who first of all helped me convert my ads from $1 ad to a Naira ad, and also went on to help me set up the ad targeting. And then we funded the account and we started running the ads. So we loaded the account with like 40,000 naira, which means if I'm running 10,000 naira ads a day, I'm going to be running that ad for like 4 days. And it did not convert for the first day, the second day, the third day, not a single sales. If you follows, there are no sales until the 4th day. The 4th day was almost ending. No, it ended. I think it was now the 5th day, of which money don't finish for the ad account though. Someone messaged me, and I know she came from the ad anyway. She sent me a message, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And, I was happy I made sales. She bought stuff over 100,000. And then that same day, somebody else messaged me and wanted a few things. By the time we added up everything, I made sales of more than 200K. So I contacted that girl I met in the market. I was like, look what happened and why did mine not convert as good as yours? And then she went on to educate me further that when you start running an ad, you must give the algorithm time to find your audience. And once you start making sales, I don't know if you guys have noticed, when you get a message from someone who came through your ad, somewhere Instagram demands a feedback asking you if this conversation was relevant to your business or to making sales, something like that. So that way the algorithm starts knowing who your audience is. I'm not an expert in this thing, please. So I'm just sharing my story here. So please contact the social media manager, a good one who knows what she's doing, and she will guide you. But this is our layman interpretation of what we think goes on. So the algorithm knows who your audience is, and the algorithm starts matching or finding those kind of people for you who would then, continue to buy, so that you get to the point where, like the friend I met in the market, is doing 200,000 naira sales daily on every 10,000 naira ad. Or like, okay, I'm not one to give up. I have the spirit of perseverance, so I'm going to push till I get results. And that's how I continue to load my ad account. I continue to run ads, and also I got to learn about something called ad fatigue. Is that what it is? I think ad fatigue. Where if you continue to show the same ad to the same kind of audience, after a while, the ad does not yield as much success, like as much sales as you would want it to. So I bought a class from someone on Instagram who was going to teach you how to do your ad targeting yourself, so you don't have to continuously pay people to do it for you. And that was a game changer indeed. If you get your targeting right, even when you do not spend so much, guys, it will convert. So I took that class and I started practicing what the guy taught in the class. So I put together several ad targets, because he will tell you or teach you to test. You can't just pump in so much money on one targeting that hasn't been tested and proven to yield results. If you've run ads, you know what I mean. So I did a couple of testing, and guys, just the first one I tested, of course, because I'd gotten used to loading my ad account with 10K to run an ad, I ran one particular ad for 10K, and I just made a little prayer. I'm like, God, let this convert. And I just left my phone and tried to forget about it. About 1 hour later, I started getting messages, bakam, inquiries. I want this, I want that. How much is this? Is this available in size 18? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, And I made sales that day. I'm not here to brag, guys. I'm here to tell you that it is real and it is true that if you run ads on Instagram and you target rightly, you're likely going to make sales. I'm not going to lie also. Your clothes must be fine. There must be something a bit unique and different from you, that would make people want to buy. You must present the clothes nicely. Your lighting must be clear and sharp. Everything must look neat and put together, so don't just think that it's just running ads that might get you to make sales. But if everything is in order and in place, guys, please just run ads and you're likely going to sell. Really, what is even this running ads? Running ads is basically just showing your product to a larger audience, more people, and increases your chances of selling. That's just what it is. So if in your locality, your neighborhood, your shopping complex, or you just have 10 customers, right? With running ads, it means that you're going to be exposed to 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 people, depends on how much you're spending on your ads. And there's every likelihood or chance that if 50,000 people sees your product, bad, 5 should buy. If you get what I mean, usually if you targeted right, which means that you've targeted the kind of audience that can buy your products, there's a way you target, and it is young people and broke people that would be messaging you. I've experienced it before, usually on Facebook, where broke people will come and abuse you and tell you that your product is overpriced. The same product that if it's shown to the right audience, they don't even talk about price. They just tell you send account details and they send you their delivery details, and that's it. You've made a sales without anybody even talking about your price or trying to negotiate or beat down the price. I know someone who said she does as much as ₦1 million sales daily. When she has enough product on ground and she's running ads, she does as much as ₦1 million sales daily. These people are not lying. At least I've tested it, I've seen. If I want to run ads and get to the point where I'm making $1 million in sales daily, it's very possible, right? The only thing that would hold me back right now is my production capacity, right? So we have to be careful so that we don't start selling products that are not on ground. So, I got so good at this thing that my targeting was so on point and the product just fits the target audience that, guys, I lowered my ad spend. I'll run ads with 3K or less and it will still convert in sales. In fact, I was selling out that I wasn't even running the ad so long. See, when people tell you something works, don't be in the cabal of low-minded people that just choose to counter and said it's impossible because it's beyond the stretch of their mind. It simply means that you lack knowledge in that area. So go for knowledge. Go and take a class, on how to run Instagram ads. Pay a social media manager to manage your page and probably do this thing for you if you don't want to concern yourself with learning, right? Like I said in the last video, I explained to you guys how I got to start influencing for my brand. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to be leaving it tagged somewhere on the screen, and I'll also leave the video on the end screen. Go and watch it, right? So you learn how I was able to put my content together and make it presentable, from hair to makeup to styling. You must get it on point. Your lighting must be clear and sharp. Of course, the quality of phone you use matters. I'm not going to lie. But however, with good light, it might cover up for a low quality phone. If you've watched this video up to this point, good job, Israelites. Well done. If you'd like to connect with me, I'll have my WhatsApp link in the description box. God bless you.